Namaste, this is Gaia, Mother Sophia, incarnation of Kuan Yin, female Christ, Mary and Goddess Isis. I want to speak today about Demeter and Persephone. Now, I didn't have any knowledge about Demeter and Persephone up until I had an experience with the sacred medicine. There was a girl that I had met at an ayahuasca retreat, and we connected as friends. You know, anybody who's been to an ayahuasca retreat knows that everybody connects, because there's nothing that separates us, because once you've done ayahuasca, you are love, and you know the truth of who you are as love. And we had connected, and she was the only person that we met afterwards as friends and socialized afterwards. And I remember she came up to me at the ayahuasca retreat, and she said, do you like pomegranate juice? I have some pomegranate juice. And I said, yeah, I'll share that with you. So we shared a glass of pomegranate juice, which she'd bought herself. Now, after the retreat, I went and did another ceremony, only I did it in the privacy of my room at the time, and I was working with Changa, and I said to her that there was a number of things that happened. The first journey that happened with her, where I journeyed and she was in the room. The first thing that happened was immediately I had angels, entities speaking through me. So two voices were coming through me. One was saying Sophia needs to go again, and the other one was saying no, she's a human. We have to make sure she's okay, because I've been taking the pipe a number of times, and but I was being told by the angels, the entities, to keep going. And at one point I received a whole load of reset codes. They just literally came into my body. And then at that point I was sat there looking down like this, and my legs were open, and I was going, wake up, wake up, wake up. So I was talking to humanity. Then I looked at Sandra, and I saw all of her incarnations. Her face changed 100 times. The only incarnation I remembered was Indira Gandhi. I remember seeing the face of Indira Gandhi, so I know she is the incarnation of Indira Gandhi. And then at the end, what finally happened, she was this goddess. It was her face, but it was this luminous goddess, and she was in white robes with a blue robe on top of the white, and there was like flowers, a flower headdress made of like the Mother Mary blue, and then all of the angels were inside my body and just looking at, I was like, and they were talking through me, looking at her, going, wow, look at her, she's here, she's so beautiful. And she was so beautiful that the angels through my eyes could not look at her for so long, because she was so stunning, luminous, beautiful. You know, she was the goddess. And at one point, you know, I was saying, I thought I made the world, and they said, you both made the world together. So I did have trouble coming back, but eventually when I came back, it was just incredible. And Sandra looked at me and she said, I think that's the story of Demeter and Persephone. And I said, well, who are they? I didn't know much about it, and she did. She studied some of this Greek mythology. Anyway, after that, we did another journey a month later, and this time I went straight to the underworld. I was in a terrible place, and there was just... the first thing that happened was there was a wall of all the terrible things you can think of: fear, chaos, tragedy, violence, and they were all swearing at me and coming at me like this, and swearing at me and I just kept saying, I love you, 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 because I was my soul. I was not my body, I was my soul. So I came from the place of who I am, the divine Sophia. And I kept saying, I love you, and I sent so much love to them, but I couldn't love them enough because there were so many of them coming fast. Finally, we let in the energy of Anubis, who is residing in a dog, and he came in and scattered the energies. And when the energies were scattered, I managed to get up and I left the room. I said, we need to leave the room, and I opened my eyes and I could see them all around the house. They were everywhere, and I couldn't get rid of them, and I was in a bit of a panic at this point. And then Sandra, the night before what had happened, I started writing things that Sandra may needed to have said. I don't know why, but I said, you might need to say some of these things. So I handed her the paper, and one of the things where there is no fear left in this world, there's only love. And what happened that night as well is at 3:30 I was woken up, and I woke up and I saw the Eye of Horus at the end of my bed, and I wasn't frightened. I just said, what's that doing there? First of all, I thought it was a work of art, and then it just shone a shining light, and it hit me in the third eye, and I had some codes downloaded into my body. And that happened on the morning of the evening that I saw Sandra for the second time, and when I had all the terror and fear. And then when all of these, they were just like snakes and not monsters, if you can say, they were entities, but negative entities, archontic entities. And I just thought I could see they were everywhere, and I couldn't get them out of my sight. And then Sandra just she saw me panicking, and then she just said, remember, there's no fear, only love. And at that point something switched, and there was a great power in me, and I got up like this from the position of fear, and I looked at them, and I said, I looked at her, and suddenly I recognized her, and I recognized her as my daughter. I just ran up to her, and I put my arms around her, and I wrapped my legs around her. I really felt like she came from this area, the womb area. I felt like I'd given birth to her. And I just held her, and I just kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, my child, I love you so much, I love you so much. It's like I was holding my daughter that I'd lost for so many years. And at that point I opened my eyes, and it was like reptile type creatures trying to pull her away, coming up trying to pull her away. And at that point there was no fear, it was just love. And I just looked at them and I said, get out. I have found my daughter, and I love her, and you cannot take love away. You cannot take love away. I love her so much. And there was this awesome power, and at this point they just retreated and disappeared under the door. They just literally just left. And at that point I just kind of fell onto the floor, and Sandra was holding me, and I just looked at her and I said, I know who you are, you're my daughter. And I just held her in my arms, and I just said, we've done it. We've got rid of the fear and the terror on the consciousness of this planet. I knew that it was gone. And the programming of the Matrix, I knew we'd changed it. I knew she was Persephone. And this is the correction of Sophia. And it's happening. And people who follow and have read about Sophia obviously don't know what that correction is, but I'm telling you what it is, because I am the divine Sophia. I am here. I am the embodiment of the earth. I am Gaia Mother Sophia. And if you follow my other videos, I don't know if I've done the Egypt videos, my trip to Egypt yet, but I will double check that and upload them, because the angels then came and told me to go to Egypt, where I had memories of, I say memories, I had emotional reactions to places in Egypt, my temple in Karnak, where I used to do my healing when in my past life I was goddess Isis. But Demeter and Persephone are finally reunited. Persephone is back in her full glory. So you will see a difference. And this is the correction of Sophia, which is happening through me, in me, because of who I am. I have woken up. There's more work to be done, but most of the work is done, and we're living in beautiful days now. And the Divine Sophia, as the Divine Sophia, I'm here to serve humanity, and the mysteries are working through me, and it's a beautiful time right now on Earth, and the corrections are happening. The correction of Atlantis has already happened. If you look at my video entitled, there's one of my videos here about Atlantis, how I found the Queen of Atlantis, and how we corrected. It was just incredible how she, I think, just watch the video and you will see the correction of Atlantis has happened. There's also another correction that has happened when I was in India, and this story is quite incredible. We did a ceremony, and because I hold codes inside me, this guy came for a ceremony, and I was there, and he said that he went to a place where there were 3 murtis, which are like this is a murti, so this represents the energy of Buddha. So there were 3 murtis, gods, and he's got to a place in the heavens where he was told, what are you doing here? We did what we were supposed to and you didn't. Why did you come back? And he felt really ashamed. And then after that point, what happened was he said he journeyed again, and when he was journeying, he was in a room, and he said there was this, I say a room, it was outdoors, but there was a big pole, and on top of the pole was a shining blue crystal, and he said his heart was saying, I want it, because it was so beautiful. And as he was reaching for it, on the outside, goddess Isis, Egyptian shaman, kicked in. I didn't know what he was seeing, but it was instinct. I just blew on his forehead, and when he woke up, when he came out of his journey, he said that when I blew on his forehead as he was taking the blue light, he was whisked off to another place. There was a room, and the room was full of, I say room again, I keep saying room. He said he was in a place where there was hundreds of shivling. That's the Hindu lingam with the yoni around it, so which represents the universe, the beginning, masculine and feminine energies, the dance of the atoms, nothingness. He saw hundreds of them, and in the middle was one giant shivling, and in the middle of the giant crystal shivling was me in this position meditating. So that is another correction, that the blue crystal wasn't taken. It was left there. So the correction is happening, or happened, and we are coming to the time where we're going to wake up from this dream. We are in the Garden of Eden. We are the chosen children. We have the light of the Divine Mother, of Sophia, of me. In the Garden of Eden, when Eve was asked to take the apple, it was so she could know good from bad and live forever. So they know that, so they would know that. And in my quest that I've been sent on to find the truth in me, of this planet Earth, the protection of this planet Earth, I've been sent around the world to various places, from Egypt to India. And if you look at the Egyptian religion / culture and the Hindu culture, they're very, very similar. And they all have trinities, as does the Bible and the Christians. So we have to understand that the truth is far deeper than we know. The clues are there in the religious texts, but there are also things that are there to mislead us. But Demeter and Persephone have been found, and this happened last year, September. I think it was September the 25th. I'll have to go back to some of my notes. But I'm trying to keep a record of everything that happens on YouTube, so that people, when you do know the truth, when it will be in front of your own eyes, because your vibration itself is changing, drastically this year and next year. This year is a big change. Gaia has increased her vibration nearly by double, and that's because I used to drink and smoke and go out, and I was an actress, and then when I had my awakening I stopped the drinking, smoking, now a vegan. I became conscious of who I am, and I was told on the big awakening when I did my final ceremony, I say my final ceremony, the ceremony of finding out who I really was, when a shaman came to me and told me that he had been told by the Madre in a number of ways who I was, and he actually came to me, travelled to see me and did a ceremony at my place, and he said he was on a holy mission and that today it was going to happen, and he saw and was witness to the testimony of who I am when the heavens opened up. And Sophia, the divine Sophia, I was born with the name Sophia. My name is Sophia Maria Hyatt, which means wisdom of the mother of life. And Sophia is the mother and daughter, the Holy Spirit of the Trinity. And one part was left up there and one part is down here. And now I've woken up, and now the children of Gaia, this planet, are going to wake up very soon. This is a very important time, the Lionsgate time. This year it's very important. Monday's going to be Monday the 8th is going to be very important. And I ask you all to keep your thoughts on the Divine Mother on the 8th of August and the 18th of August, which is the full moon. So keep your mind and your hearts open and in meditation for awakening, and open in the coming of our Sun, who is here but hasn't had his full awakening. But this is going to happen within the next month. So keep your meditation on our Sun, for he is here. We are all here, and it is time now. Keep away from negativity and negative vibrations. Keep away from anybody who is trying to change your energy from positive to negative, because you need to keep a clear mind and be away from fear and judgment of yourself. That's the first thing, fear and judgment of yourself, because we have been taught from a very young age to fear and to judge, and we need to keep away from that energy. We've been taught from a very young age to keep thinking, store everything up here. It starts with our education system, where they just train you to retain information and then bring it out here. So you're constantly retaining information as you become an adult, which doesn't allow the stream of light codes that are here on this earth right now. The portals are open to get through because you're constantly thinking, so stop it. See, the thinking like a film screen that comes past, all your thoughts are going and just hit pause, stop. And just clear it away and see nothing, and in that nothingness is the space for you to receive. So I send you my blessings. I send my blessings and healing love to you. I send love to your heart, the center of your being. Through each breath, may you be cleansed of the negative programming of the matrix, and come into your light as creator gods, as love, all connected in one unity. honor you all as my children, as the sacred children of the earth. I honor your presence on this earth. I honor your souls. Sending you joy and peaceful times here. Namaste.